Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. Unless you are new to the channel, then well, it is very nice to meet you guys. I hope you have a good time here and you find this information very valuable. In today's video, we will be talking about Bitcoin, Orchid, as well as Litecoin. I'm going to be going into some news as well as doing some technical analysis. Guys, if you haven't yet done so, please make sure you hit that thumbs up like button. We are trying to get at least 50 likes on this video. It really is appreciated. It helps us out a lot. And as well, if you can turn that bell notification on, that way then you don't miss out on these future videos and you try to stay up to date with some of the latest news and information. With that being said, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, but hopefully this information is valuable to you and steers you in a better direction. I always encourage you guys to do more background research on this stuff anyways. And that is how we open up into the first article. Right now, we're going to talk about what's going on with Ripple. So Ripple, aka XRP, we're going to actually kind of touch base with this just a little bit. After Ripple exec declares Bitcoin maximalism over, XRP prices are surging. So what he is actually quoted as saying, I think that the days when folks believe that there's only going to be Bitcoin, I think are over. I think it's clear that there's going to be a lot of digital assets and there's going to be a lot more traditional assets that are going to be tokenized as digital assets. I don't see the traditional venture capitalist as interested as they were in 2017, he said. But in my mind, I couldn't be happier in terms of innovation in the space. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that Bitcoin is starting to fall a little bit to the wayside because a lot of other cryptos are starting to rise? Or do you think that it's not really going to phase Bitcoin? It's just going to keep going higher? You guys let me know in the comments below. Next thing in regards also for the XRP. In under 2 weeks, anyone holding XRP on major exchanges and wallets will receive free Spark tokens, but Coinbase is likely too late to accommodate it, according to Flare Network. So Flare Network is this separate token system that's being established. And so airdrop, for those of you guys that don't know, is essentially giving away free tokens as a way to kind of cause a little bit of circulating supply, a little bit of people talking. It's a reward system for people that are willing to be a first mover inside the space. So it's like a free gift at the expense of the people that are actually developing the coins, right? They're the ones that have to suffer through this. So the thing is, you look at some of the coin exchanges, like for example Coinbase, and Coinbase hasn't really had any response about trying to work with this. Another exchange though, which they didn't really identify in the beginning of this very strongly, is the fact that also Kraken is another major crypto exchange that's not joined in on the airdrop. Furthermore, although Binance is saying that they're willing to be a part of this, Binance US is not specifying anything. So all those different resources from a United States perspective doesn't really look like they're going to be able to have that much access to Ripple's XRP spin-off of this new crypto called Flare, right? Flare? Is that the name? Yeah, according to Flare Networks. Flare Networks. All right. According to Flare Networks. So let me know what you guys think about that. Sorry, it's just a little bit of a side news going on with the XRP side. I was actually thinking about doing some coverage on XRP, but I wanted to put a little bit more focus on Litecoin. I didn't really find any major news regarding Litecoin. I still had the news that popped up for the XRP, so I figured I'd go ahead and share that with you guys. Now we're going to go ahead and focus more on Bitcoin. A little bit of news also regards with Ethereum. Not necessarily news going on. It's just kind of an interesting perspective view. So if a lot of you guys are bigger proponents of Ethereum or invest in Ethereum and you think that maybe it has a future and you want to know how it kind of separates itself a little bit more from Bitcoin, we're going to talk about that. For Bitcoin, Guggenheim Fund files to be able to invest up to almost $500 million in Bitcoin through GBTC. Guggenheim Funds Trust filed an amendment with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to allow its $5 billion Macro Opportunities Fund gain exposure to Bitcoin by investing up to 10% of the fund's net asset value in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC. Given the fund has net assets of $4.97 billion, according to Fidelity, it means the fund can invest up to $497 million in GBTC. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, a publicly traded financial product that functions similar to an exchange-traded fund or ETF, tracks the price of Bitcoin. Guggenheim notes GBTC trades at a significant premium. Okay, so essentially Grayscale is going to come in and buy a whole bunch more Bitcoin, and then they're working on managing it for Guggenheim if they fully go through with this. So this is what it sounds like is very likely to happen, and we're talking about $500 million, which is a pretty big chunk of change. And since we've been hearing about this news almost 24 hours ago, Bitcoin's been on a tear. It's up 18,300. This is in real time as of when I'm recording this video. And you can see a lot of green, 18,300. Price very likely to be in a different position once this video is uploaded. But just so you guys know, a little bit more in relation as people keep talking and sharing the news about this. Very, very bullish news. What do you guys think? Do you think this could push it to 20K now once Monday opens up? Do you think Grayscale and some of these other institutions are going to be buying a lot more Bitcoin and we're finally going to hit 20K? And see what that big question happens once we actually officially pass the new all-time high. Is it going to have a pullback? We saw that happen with the Dow Jones, right? Trump came out, made a public statement, hey, we hit $30,000. Next day, Dow Jones started to go down, right? Are we going to see the same thing? Or do you think a lot of people are kind of preparing strategically for this? Any kind of sell-off, it's going to be fought off and more people are going to have faith in it going up. What do you guys think? Keep in mind, too, more demand. Right now, we're seeing what the heck did I just say? We're seeing the major financial institutions that are the big players coming in, these whales that are buying a lot of the cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. And so when the regular people, the regular retail perspective viewers, right, they come in, they start buying it because they don't want to miss out on this stuff. It's going to be a huge flood. And we saw that huge flood take place in 2017. We're not seeing that huge flood yet from these people. So the room to grow for this is still exponential. And as more people have heard about Bitcoin now as compared to 2017, when that flood happens, it's going to cause bigger waves than it did before, especially because there's so little that's readily available since a lot of it's being pulled off of the networks, right? Ethereum is a currency you can verify. These are 5 reasons Ethereum is way more powerful than Bitcoin. Ethereum is a currency can verify transactions in 10 seconds as opposed to 10 minutes in Bitcoin. Switch to proof of stake over proof of work carries many technical advantages. I love the idea of proof of stake personally. Smart contracts productivity added could be more important than the transactions. Ethereum's DApps, or decentralized applications, open a new possibility of edge computing. Ethereum has a strong developer community on their platform. Keep in mind with smart contracts, new expansions in with Bitcoin is now expanding itself into the realm of smart contracts. So the developmental future of Bitcoin continues to evolve as Ethereum also sees evolutions. So I wouldn't say that Bitcoin is just dead in the water per se, but Ethereum definitely has some stronger ground in certain fields. And those use cases provide a lot more validity. As a store of value, ends all, beat all, Bitcoin is the king in that range, in my personal opinion. Bitcoin may see major price volatility at the start of December. Well, here's why. Okay, so the price of Bitcoin faces 2 crucial events on the beginning of December, right after the weekly and monthly candles close. The upcoming weekly candle close is particularly noteworthy because it could mark the first red weekly candle since late September. Okay, so keep that in mind. Since late September, we've been having a very bullish run up with the weekly candles. The monthly candle will be significant since it would mark the highest close in Bitcoin's history. So now we're even passing the 2017 period, right? For the monthly close. So yeah, we hit a high, but where did that month close back then? So if we closed out this month above those levels, on the monthly, we hit an all-time high. That's still a strong statement to say. The price remains above 13,791. Looking pretty good. I mean, we had a bit of a sell-off take place there a couple days ago, right around Thanksgiving, right? But it's looking pretty good. Okay, now let's go ahead and go take a look at the charts. Looking over at the Bitcoin side, you see we had a bit of a sell-off. Recovery is starting to take place. Pushing back, we are now above the previous day formation at the highest peak on November 19th. So approximately 10 days later, we are a little bit over half the way on November 20th's green candle in the recovery position. It had peaked out at a point of $18,850, just to kind of keep in mind. But a key level for this, I would say, is realistically going to be right across this point. As you guys can see, there's a lot of seemingly consolidated space right around $18,720 here. We have the top, the new daily formation, and then bounce off of right here, as well as a daily open position or the daily close formation. So right around $8,750 is going to be a very important level to try and break above. And if we can get above that, then once again, the next major zone that's going to be key to look at is going to be at that $19,500 level, and then potentially breaking a new all-time high. A fall back down could potentially push down to 17,280. You can see that this is starting to curve just slightly on that 21 EMA. And the RSI itself, I still don't feel there's a lot of significance with this, but you can see that it is slightly pushing up towards being overbought. It's starting to flatline out just a little bit below that top level zone here. Something that's a very key thing, though, I would recommend people keep an eye on is the daily. So the new daily formation right here, the volume is low because we just passed. It is now 4:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as of the time of me recording this video, and the 2 previous days, which are essentially the weekend positions, showed a decrease, even on the Friday position, a decrease in volume. And so these 2 volumes from the previous days are comparable in level to back on November 21st. So we're seeing about a week or so of nice volume gains and then now a progressive movement down. And the question is, when is that volume going to take a swift swing and move up, whether it be green or red, right? So more volatility should be expected as we have these longer drawn out periods. For how long this will last, it's hard to say, but the fact that we are already making large progressive movement with low volume upwards leads an indication that Monday is likely to show some major moves, whether it is up or whether it is down. But the psychological element is largely suggested to when Bitcoin was pushing the $19,500 level, and then it kind of went sideways a little bit and slowed down a lot. People were panicking and they started selling off concerning that it might show replications of 2017. So if we get enough momentum, which is what was suggested before, and we can just blast through this new all-time high, a lot more of the sentiment in the space will say, hey, let's keep riding it out. Let's keep holding off. Let's not sell off. More people are wanting this. They want to spend more money. Okay, they want to spend more money. And then if they want to put their new crypto on the exchanges, they can. Some people are going to have weak hands, but a lot of institutions seem to be showing strong signs of having strong hands. And keep in mind, right, they could make a lot of money for sure. But if this continues to rally up, and they are patient with this, and they've got other money fiscally that they can use to rely on in the meantime, enough time can pass by. This could put them as a superpower. We're talking about putting them in a completely different category altogether in one of those major big leagues. And with that much kind of influence and power, their realm of opportunities and ability to expand out into new horizons dramatically changes. So in my opinion, I think even with people that are investing absolutely insane amounts of money, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars into these kinds of things, if they're patient with it, they're going to become one of the biggest powerhouse financially in the world. We're not just talking about in their own country, we're talking about in the world. And that's a very strong statement to say. Also, it strengthens the idea of less restrictions on something with Bitcoin as it gets higher. If it hits that $1 trillion cap, it's going to be a lot harder to try and regulate and say like, hey, you guys can't do this at all. There's so much money that's now invested into it that it wouldn't be fair economically to all the people that became a part of it. And that would actually hurt the economy at that point, because now you're causing implications on them and the funds that they would have available that could actually circulate back. If you find a way to just kind of cut off their access with it, well, now that money is just essentially gone. You want it to circulate. So encouraging these kinds of things in the proper way is very important. I hope I'm not getting a cold. I might be. I think I need some water. I got to keep my water nearby like Ivan on Tech does. That's going on with the Bitcoin side. Moving on over to the Orchid side. I feel like I'm doing a little song right here for you guys. You can see we are still above the 21 EMA, which is absolutely amazing. Also on the Fibonacci retracement, we're still above the 0.382 level, which is very, very nice. We are actually just now touching it. You can take a look. It is just slightly above that level. It is having a bit of a sell-off. It is also above the 30-cent level, though. So with the new daily formation, it's already seen quite a bit of a decline here, which is a little bit disappointing. However, we are still above key levels like the 21 EMA as shown before. And this series of consecutive large green candles. Unfortunately, historically, we've seen massive dumps down. So I would be concerned of seeing potentially a replication like we saw here on November 25th of a retracement back down past the 28-cent level, and then a secondary day bringing it nearly all the way down, if not all the way down, back to around 25 cents. If Bitcoin has a further continuation rally, I feel the sentiment with Orchid, as we've seen historically, will flip and become more bullish. Although concerns are that if Bitcoin does hit a new all-time high, a lot of people might sell off in the short term, not long term, but in the short term, they might decide to sell off their altcoins so they can try and capitalize on all the infinite possibilities of what Bitcoin could go to. It could go to 26,000. It could go to 75,000, right? There's literally no cap. And as more demand comes in, if more access to it becomes in, then the realm of possibilities are essentially limitless, and people start falling into the mentality of greed. So there is a lot of profit potential looking at it with altcoins, and personally, I think it's important to have a portfolio invested into altcoins in addition to Bitcoin, in addition to Ethereum as well. So I am looking at this on a much bigger scale perspective, looking at it on the short term. There's some concerns, right? And it's hard to officially say what people will want to do with their money, but we look at emotions and how they play out, and that's what our technical analysis is. If this has a drop down, it could go down to 27 cents on the 21 EMA and it's a bounce off. As far as for a breakup, not only does it need to stay above the 30-cent level for a psychological perspective, but it also needs to break above the 35-cent level, which is a key level that was bounced off of here back on November 25th. We did see also previously, I thought I deleted this, by the way, in my other video. I could have sworn I did that live. Okay, so hopefully that's saved now. And then another key level is going to be the 37, almost 38 cent level. That's actually pushing into the Fibonacci retracement for the 0.618 as well. I think that if the Windows news comes out, that's going to be bullish overall, as long as Bitcoin doesn't start tanking crazy. Because if the Windows update news comes out and Bitcoin is tanking, it's more than likely just going to start tanking anyways, because as soon as Bitcoin starts to pull back a little bit, it seems like people have really weak hands with Orchid and they just start dumping it. It's like, oh, Bitcoin's going up. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit in. I'm going to put a little bit in. And then somebody's just like, I'm going in, baby. And they drop a whole bunch and it starts rising like crazy. And someone else is like, I'm going to dump it right after you do that. Pump and dump, pump and dump. All right, thank you so much. And it pulls down. Then people are like, well, let's try and keep it going. Let's try to keep it rallying. And then Bitcoin starts to drop a bunch. And then everyone's like, oh, and they all start dropping out. I know that was a really weird way to describe that. But, hey, I'm weird. What can I say, guys? So I hope you guys are enjoying the content. And let's go ahead and now take a look at the next cryptocurrency, which is Litecoin. Changes you may or may not be saved. What? But I hit save. You got to save my stuff. Okay, now it should be saved. All right, good. So real quick again, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button if you do enjoy this video and you're watching us. And the bell notification is great, so you are alerted whenever there's a new video. Now looking over at Litecoin side, you can see that key level I had set up as of previous. We are starting to draw closer to it once again. We had broken above that on November 21st. It was battled and retraced back, battled again, broke above with daily close, secondary daily close. Ideally, you want 3 points. Unfortunately, that third point had pulled back and we saw a further correction. This was associated with that big decline that we also saw in Bitcoin. So the whole altcoin market, all cryptocurrency really saw this big massive decline. It was a wide spectrum of cryptocurrency that did that. That even pulled it below the 21 EMA. And then you saw the next day, again, the 21 EMA is a really good indicator, guys. So then you saw this go up and it had to close just underneath the line. I mean, it broke above temporarily, and then next thing you know, daily close just slightly below. Next daily candle ended up breaking above and has now closed that out on the new daily formation. We're still seeing some positive growth with this. So it is a key level. I would keep an eye out, guys, for at 84.75, right around in that range. If it can break above that, then I think it needs to have 3 strong consecutive days, as we only had 2 as of previously, before a further sentiment of bullishness ensues. Overall, right now, we are above the 21 EMA, so I am slightly bullish. Not significantly, but I am slightly bullish overall. I do feel that there's more likelihood of it having a further continuation up than it having a further decline. And it is going to be interesting to see how this essentially large shoulder pattern is going to be forming. It's almost looking like even potentially the starting formation for a cup and handle. And as I'm talking right now, I just saw a whole bunch of buying going in with Bitcoin. Look at that. It just shot up $83. Just like that. $85, $87, $90. Holy cow. Wow. I like being able to catch stuff like this while it's live. Almost to $18,400 as I'm recording the video. And so you guys can actually see on these candles right here, this is a 10-second chart. There are some people trying to do some sell-off, some large buy orders here. Binance Futures just did a 1.6 million sell-off. There's 1 million buy, 1 million buy, $3 million sell-off on Bybit, 1.1 million on Darebit. That's really rare for me to see something like that. But BitMEX, whoa, BitMEX coming in with a $3 million buy. So there's a lot of battling going on right now. Now it's above $18,400. You guys are going to see a different price more than likely whenever this video is uploaded. So that is absolutely amazing, and it's really cool being able to see this stuff happen while I'm actually recording a video. So I don't have much more left in the video itself. I kind of wish that I kept recording just to see if this would hit 19,000 while I'm actually recording the video, but let's focus more on this. So pullback for the Litecoin down to 74.25 is going to be key level for that 21-day EMA. And as I mentioned, that break above, then another key level obviously is back on November 24th at approximately 94 cents. So we need to break above 94 cents. And as we look back here, you can see that that top level was of a previous peak back in February of this year. And that's why it's such a key psychological level to try and make sure that we break above. If you go back even further, you can see here on September 18th, we are right near that point. It's just slightly off. I can even zoom in here. You can see the nice little dotted line, which is a great indicator of where we're currently at. And with the zoom in, that actually puts you at a point at 80.35, 80.35, very, very close. So the most imminent 80.35, let's break above that level for Litecoin. Then the next level would be at that 84.9-ish range, and then be working back towards its all-time high. All-time high, baby. Well, actually a key level, I didn't see this right here, is back on June 22nd. That was around $145. And then you start to have further rallies up. So let's not give you guys too many numbers to kind of focus on. Those are some of the key points. But yeah, this is looking like a good, strong, bullish momentum movement. Everything has really got the eyes on Bitcoin. Ethereum 2.0 is December 1st, which is just right around the corner, guys. I mean, December 1st is 1 day away, essentially 24 hours, right? We get this daily close on the next formation, as this is identified now as November 30th. So the December 1st formation will take place on the UTC side. It might be 24 to 48 hours, depending on what time they actually release it. Because if they release it at, say, 4 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time on December 1st, that's actually considered as December 2nd on the UTC side. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to share this with other people if you think they would also find this information interesting. I encourage you guys to leave any thoughts and opinions that you guys have in the comments down below, even if you just want to say hi. And hitting that like button helps us out so much, guys. If you hit that like button, I'm trying to get at least 50 likes on every single one of these videos. If you want to go back to previous videos and you're bored and you just want to help a guy out and drop some likes on those too, just because you like the content I've been doing, feel free. I highly encourage you go ahead and check out that information, because there's a lot of update with the news, as you guys saw with this. And if you combine all that news together, it starts to describe a little bit more of a narrative of what's all going on in the industry space. So if you got the time, you want to do that, cool. If you don't have time for it, it's okay. If you want to drop a like on this, be greatly appreciated. And the bell notification, guys, is really important, so you get notified when there's new videos. And I want to build a strong community. We got a lot of good people here. I encourage you guys to have your voice be heard and say what you want to say in the comments down below. Just please don't say anything super nasty, guys. And I will see you guys in the next episode.